Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Let's talk about what Claudia Jordan had to say about Porsha, also, and what Carlos King had to say about Angela. So we are going to get into it, but please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Tap that bell button so you get notifications every single time that I post. We do a lot of Real Housewives of Atlanta content now, so make sure you subscribe, okay? Now let's get into it. Claudia Jordan definitely is not feeling Porsha at all, honey. She is not here for Porsha. To be honest, I don't think anybody's here for Porsha this season. Like, Porsha girl, I don't know what they've had you doing, but you need to tell them that, no, I'm not doing this again. Please bring Kenya back so Kenya can be the villain. I cannot do this again. Like, that's the thing. Porsha is not made to be a villain. Porsha should be one of the lighthearted, fun girls, throwing parties, saying like unintelligent things, and having a good old ball of fun, right? She's not here to be doing all that, and so I feel like, yeah, they definitely need a villain that ain't Porsha, because this ain't working well for them. This is not working well for them. If this was the idea you guys had for Porsha this season, girl, you guys better go switch it up, all the way up, because it ain't working. So Porsha girl, if I were you next season, I am gonna bring it. You know that fire that Angela came and put under that ass is what I'm gonna need you to use, that fire to bring more energy to us next season. Bring us the fun, lighthearted energy that we love about Porsha. Don't be out here bringing us no messy, husband snatching BS. We are not interested in that. We do not find that funny. A lot of people want respectful relationships. We are not going to be cool with the idea of somebody saying they should F our man. Let's just put that out there, baby. As a joke, not a joke. Not acceptable. Now, Claudia did say that Porsha can't be mad that Drew is filming with her baby daddy, then go right ahead to make a threat to F a fellow castmate's husband. She also said she's been throwing shade at Charles earlier in the season, and so this just made it worse. I agree. I think that Porsha's way of making jokes and stuff is too much. Now, I understood the context she was saying when she initially brought Charles up at the dinner was because Angela kept bringing Charles up allegedly. And so she's like, well, and then she made a joke out of it. But it's like, girl, this girl does not know you. Why do you keep joking on her husband? Nobody is going to find it funny. Porsha, just think back to when you were married. What if somebody was making jokes about your husband? You would not have, any of your husbands, your ex-husbands now, you would not have found it funny. So I don't understand why you don't realize how bad that could be. Now, I don't know if I agree with Claudia on this one. Claudia said if Angela had acted that way, the way Porsha acted, that she would have been dragged by the hair and there would have been a physical altercation. Now, I personally do not think that Porsha would get into a physical altercation with Angela if Angela did something like that. Personally, I just don't see that. I feel like the whole altercation with Kenya was when Kenya was putting something in her face, in her personal space. So I don't really believe that it would have been a physical altercation. I feel like something physical would have escalated it first before it becomes a physical altercation. Now, I may be wrong. This is just my perspective on the matter. But that's what I think. Now, Dustin did say something and I agree with. Even though it's a private conversation, it's the fact that there's already a stigma attached to Porsha's name. Porsha's biggest mistake was dealing with Simon, especially because of the way she met Simon on the show. Now, let's be clear. I do appreciate that there is a chance that her and Fallon were never really friends to begin with. And I think there's an element that could be possible because on these shows, they do that all the time where they tell you to bring somebody in as your friend, even though you don't really know the person from a can of paint. It could have been that situation. I absolutely agree. However, I think that because of the way everything played out, she was out here loving on this man, despite the fact that he was still in a relationship, even though they were separated. It doesn't look good. I know she eventually went to the pool boy or whatnot, but the way in which she handled it, the way in which everything came out was so messy that nobody can make an excuse for you, Porsha. It doesn't look good. You were in that woman's pool, so nobody is ever going to look at you the same way. And that's the biggest mistake that she's made. If she did have a reputation for messing with married men, allegedly, I don't think that it would have had the same impact. It would have just been like an apology, like, girl, you kept talking about my husband. And I was like, yo, if I wanted to be petty, like most women are, I should go do this with your husband. Like, it wasn't in that way. It was just me being malicious at you. I'm so sorry. I didn't even think about the impact. That could have ended it. But because you have been alleged to be taking other people's husband, it's not a joke that you can make, honey. It's not a joke that you can make. And I need her to own that and apologize. Now, maybe she'll own that at the reunion and cry it out and apologize. And she needs to get a PR person if she doesn't already, because that PR person needs to be telling her, girl, you need to clock in and clean up your image like yesterday's business. As much as we don't like Simon, the fact that Simon is in ICE custody probably has made things a little bit easier for Porsha in this season, because if not, Simon would have been tweeting or messaging, or not tweeting, I think it's Instagram he uses, would have been posting about it constantly on his Instagram. There would have been something to talk about in the blog every week as the episodes come out. And it's not going to be looking good. Now, I will agree with Claudia on one thing that she said. She said she feels like Porsha is currently making a fool of herself, and that when they used to be friends, they would text. She used to be very funny, and that's the part that you used to love and want to watch. This moody, doesn't want to talk Porsha is not what people want to see. I agree 100%. Now, one thing I want the people to realize is this. Say what you want about Porsha, how she got the man. I get it. I agree. But she is going through it. You guys see the way Simon and her have been going at it in the social media streets. That is a fraction, I'm sure, of what she's dealing with behind the scenes. This woman is bitter. She's going through a lot. Where is the grace? And that's why I feel like people, the same grace that people are extending to Shamia, saying Shamia has a lot on, and that's why she's not showing up really well this season, Kenya, whatever, the grace that they're showing a lot of these people, I think people need to also extend it to Porsha. Now, I get it. She don't deserve it, like some will say, because of how she got the man. Well, maybe I'm a little bit of a softie, because I just feel like it's getting so much being piled on her with everything she's going through. Like, let's just ease off. Like, well, I'm still saying what I'm saying, but I mean, like, I'm not dragging her. I'm just like out fully saying, like, just saying what I'm saying. But I feel like people need to give her grace. I've seen some comments that are pretty vile about her, which I just think it's extreme. Leave that woman alone. She is going through it. She already doesn't even know who she's seeing. Let's just leave her to hopefully heal. Now, Carlos did say that Angela Oakley is the quintessential of housewives. If there was an award for a Rookie of the Year, she needs to get it. He was like, oh, she came in strong. She didn't come in being messy. But that she gradually grew, and that is coming from someone that was a producer, right? Apparently, word on the street is they wanted Oakley back in season 3. All through till season 9, when he was a part of Bravo, her name was always coming up, and they had asked her to be on the show. But I don't know, for whatever reason, she chose not to be on the show at the time. But apparently, it's proving that they were right to want her for as long as they've wanted her for. And apparently, she continues to do what she's doing, that the whole world will catch on to it. I do think that a lot of people are catching on to Angela being very good for Real Housewives of Atlanta. She is messy, but that is what Real Housewives of Atlanta needs. People need a bit of light shade. Well, miles in your mouth. I don't know if that was light, but it was shade that connected, but it wasn't too nasty. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you see how Kenya took it to hell. It wasn't that low, right? But it was enough for her to be like, girl, you got miles in your mouth. And she said it so calmly and I was absolutely here for it. Absolutely here for it. Now, the bit where I think that Claudia is a reach, honey. Claudia said Angela is even better than all of the OGs of the show because she doesn't unnecessarily react, and she has emotional intelligence and is always standing on business, even if it's her versus the entire cast. Now, Claudia, I feel like we've only seen a few episodes. Some people start off strong, they can't continue strong. A lot of the OGs started off strong and couldn't maintain it. So don't be out here bigging up somebody and saying she's better than all the OGs of the show, honey. Like, it's been a few episodes. Not long enough for you to know that. And so I would be careful of saying things like that, personally. The other thing I would say is, don't big up her head too much. Because I feel like that's what happened with all these OGs. A lot of people were blowing smoke up their ass, were saying all these amazing things about them. They felt like they were they were the it girls. And now they feel like they don't have to do much till they lost their spots, right? So I think we need to be careful to not be overdoing it and bigging up people too much. Like, yeah, give credit. Yeah, she's enjoyable on the show, but you can't downplay all the OGs because you suddenly feel like this person is better when you've watched a few episodes. The same way you lot were loving Shamia in the first episode. Oh my God, Shamia, she's Real Housewives. She's the embodiment of da-da-da. And now you guys have turned on her. It's like, that's how fickle a lot of the fans are. Anyways, that is it. That is all. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post or go live. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.